Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Well, aren't you lucky being part of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show this Saturday? That's right. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., Gino and I have the luxury of sharing our Saturdays with you for over 6 years now, guiding you to personal financial wealth. That's been our goal since day one. There's no big checks coming to us. This is our passion. Our passion is to help as many of you as possible. We do that with Skyline Home Loans, with directing you in the right direction with regarding your home financing, or aligning you with the best professionals we possibly can align you with. And we have the best professionals, and now we're expanding on that, aren't we, Gino?
We are, Don, and we are incredibly lucky today to have Barry Habib on, a good friend of ours and a mentor of ours. And, as we're going through the interview, I'm just saying, boy, we're asking you, our listeners, to be bold and take action this year. And we've changed what we've done now, just right on our 6-year anniversary, flipped the thing on its head and brought you something completely different to make sure that we continuously bring value.
In our spare time.
Yeah.
We work our usual 80-hour work weeks, it seems like, and we got to talk about that balancing. I won't get into that with Barry.
No.
But we've started a new series because this is our passion. We love hearing from top professionals. We learn so much, and we're inspired by them. So we want to inspire you, empower you. And we started a series called Interviews with the Giants. It's a series of interviews with the top entrepreneurs we can find across the country and bring them to you to share their stories and their inspiring attributes that help them become so successful. And we have Barry Habib on, owner of MBS Highway, previous owner of Mortgage Market Guy, CMPS, a producer of Rock of Ages, one of the most successful Broadway shows and TV shows. He's with us today. Thank you for joining us, Barry, and really appreciate your time on your busy schedule, buddy.
Well, listen, I'm big fans of your work, and I think that you guys produce a great show for people that's so educational, and the fact that you are making these changes now, it's just that Kaizen, that constant improvement, never being satisfied and always wanting to deliver more value, so you guys embody that, and thank you.
Well, thank you.
I know we're talking about the fact of, perfection but no, it's not perfect, and it's not easy. And,
have you heard our show?
Well, same with me. Make a lot of mistakes, and the thing that is interesting is I remember the person that gave me a shot as a professional speaker that I owe a lot to is Deborah Jones. And we used to sell tapes of what we did, and you talked about this during the break was how you listened to some of your previous tapes, and I remember Deborah Jones. She said something that resonated with me. She says, you get better, your tapes don't. And that's so true. So we all do. And whether it's doing a show or whether it's talking to a customer, I mean, realistically, one of the best exercises that I think we could do is record your conversation and record a bunch of them. And the ones that you converted, the ones you didn't convert, and listen to yourself. It's going to be painful, but it's one of the best exercises you can do to get better, because you'll discover, like, wow, I can't believe I actually said that, and you'll watch out for it next time. Or you'll say, man, I sounded really good there. I've got to do more of that. And you'll know when the transition came with that customer, when they really made that transition into wanting to work with you. So you can't easily capture that while you're in the midst of it during the conversation. But as an observer, it gives you the opportunity to do so. So I would strongly advise thinking about doing that exercise. I think it will accelerate improvement. We all want to improve.
With any business you're in, obviously.
Any business, doesn't
Right.
matter. The other thing that you said was, making mistakes and this and that. So I have all crazy different hobbies, and I love sports and all this and that. Well, I was curious because I always would watch jugglers. I wanted to learn how to juggle. So the teacher who taught me how to juggle, he made me throw the balls up and then drop them. Like, well, why am I dropping them? He says, because you have to understand that they're going to fall. If you're so paranoid about things not falling, you'll never learn how to juggle. Says the best way you can learn how to juggle is to understand that sometimes things are going to fall. And that lesson was such a good business lesson, because if we're too frantic and panicked about everything, we're not going to do as good a job. It's like with everything else, when you are a little more relaxed, so much better than if you're constantly tensed and stressed. So finding that balance is the real key. It was an important lesson for me.
Oh, that's fun stuff. I didn't know you were a juggler.
Not a very good one.
Every entrepreneur is, Don.
Yeah, I'm about to say, every entrepreneur has to be a juggler.
I taught my son Dan, and he's kind of amazing. So I'm proud that I taught him, but he could juggle like 5 balls. I mean, it's unbelievable what he can do. I can never do that, but I'm proud to say I taught him at least.
Well, you save that energy for all the businesses you have to juggle.
That's
and
true.
all the projects you're on and stuff.
That's true.
Okay, so as we close, you talk. I love your story from Hard Knocks, all the passion, and that, like Gino astutely mentioned, that you have to have fear, belief, passion. You have to be empowered. You have to have optimism, which was really key word that you used quite a bit. Can you think of any other success attributes that you see in entrepreneurs across the country, and that has helped you become such a successful entrepreneur?
Resiliency.
Oh,
Resilience.
there you go.
Because when we enter anything, any business that we're in, you're going to have bad stuff happen. It's going to happen in life, in business, whatever. Resiliency. You know, we were talking about Sylvester Stallone and you know, Rocky. It's not you know, it's not about getting knocked down. It's after getting knocked down, getting up. You know, and being resilient is really important, because no matter how well you map it out, no matter how well you plan, things are going to happen. And being able to get past that and overcome that and not become discouraged because of that. And not just for you, but if you're going to be a leader, other people around you are going to see how you react. And if they see that you're giving up or getting discouraged, they're going to think there's no hope for them. So if you want to build a great team around you that are going to help carry you, you've got to lead the way, not just through the good times, but most importantly, through the times that are going to invariably occur, that are lousy, where you get tough breaks, where it's unfair to you. And getting through that and still believing and still being positive and optimistic will help inspire others. And when you can inspire others, they'll help you get wherever you want to go.
That's great info. I live that. Gino knows my thing is, and you agree with me, Barry, is that's the good stuff. When you get through those hard times or the challenging times and you think it through, you calmly, as best as you can, and you persevere and you get through those tough times, is that not the best time?
Well, that's the messed up part about life, is that you really enjoy it when it sucked at the beginning. You know, that's when it really was miserable. That's when you really like it at the end. So it's like it's a crazy part about life, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, thank you, Barry, for your time. Thank you for your friendships. Thanks for being so real. You've been a great friend over the years, and despite your success, you haven't changed. You've always been a great guy, and I think that's an imperative attribute that everybody should have. Because I know that no matter when I've seen you, you still come up, give me a hug, ask me how I'm doing, and I appreciate that, because you're a real guy and a great person, and you deserve the success you've attained over all these years.
I consider you both very good friends, and I appreciate everything you folks do.
All right,
so
thanks.
thank you.
If you want to find out more, look up Barry Habib on Google. You'll see him all over the place. Check out MBS Highway. It's one of the best tools in the mortgage industry. Thank you again for being part of Interviews with the Giants. Thank you, Barry, and we can't wait to interview you again down the road. Great stuff, buddy.
God bless you guys. Thank you.
Buddy.
All right, thanks,
week.
buddy. And thank you for being part of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Hopefully you enjoyed today's interview.
Oh, I'm so excited. Hopefully you walk away from today, as we've said, being bolder, being more confident, being more resilient than you were before today.
All right, check us out at donandgino.com. Have a wonderful Saturday.
And
take action.